Thursday, June the 27th, 2024, and for this week's adventure I'm doing a local walk, so no train station start. This is the village of Wallington, relatively local to me in North Hertfordshire, and the reason I'm here today is to undertake a 9-miler based on the Hertfordshire Way. I've done a number of sections of the Hertfordshire Way whilst doing other walks, so I've never really undertaken it, and that's purely down to logistics. Getting to the ends, it's all linear, etc, etc. But West Herts Ramblers, I noticed last week, have devised a number 35 actually of circular walks based on the Hertfordshire Way, which is very handy, and I thought I'd try one of them today. So this is a 9-mile circular based on the Wallington section of the Hertfordshire Way, this being walk number 26 I believe of the 35 that West Herts have started. There will be some repetition almost certainly today. I will have walked most of this walk previously for North Herts Ramblers in various ways. But anyway, I've got a grey day at the moment, humid, with a west-southwesterly breeze, which is going to pick up towards the end of the walk. So another good test for my wind resistor. I'm here at the village hall, but the car park unusually is rammed. Reason being that there's some builders down the lane, and I think half of these vehicles belong to them. It's just gone 12 noon. I'm expecting around 4 hours of walking and hoping to take my lunch at the church at Sandon, where I've lunched previously. But let's see how we go, because that's about 6 miles into the walk, 6.5 miles. So 2/3 of the walk in. Let's crack on. Using a GPS track today. West Herts have created GPS tracks for all of their 35 walks. So opposite some houses, hidden in the hedge here, next to a 20-mile-an-hour zone, is the Hertfordshire Way, believe it or not. This is a path I haven't previously walked, certainly this section. An interesting bracket fungus there. No idea what that is. Looks like it's on a... no, I don't know what the tree is either. It's dead. Now, for a major footpath, this is very poorly maintained, and it's that time of year when the brambles are starting to creep across paths as well. Well, in fact, the path brings us out next to Wallington Church, so I have been down that path previously, just don't remember it. This church is usually locked, if I recall. Had lunch here previously on a couple of occasions. Over in that corner. Unusually the church is open today, so let's have a gander. As you can hear, various other people in the room. Decent leaded window there. Standing next to the pulpit. Don't know if I'll be able to get a view back because of the various other people in the place. But I was so lucky that the only good didn't really walk fact, thinking about it, I may have been inside there previously, because there's a little corner dedicated to George Orwell, who I've mentioned on previous walks, used to live in this village. So check that out online if you're interested. George Orwell, Wallington. There is the Hertfordshire Way symbol, finger post. We also run into the Icknield Way as well here. Decent vista here, indicating our height. Filmed this previously. Wind is certainly picking up now, hopefully not interfering too badly. Around 455 feet here. Yeah, this field was previously sunflowers when I last passed. So possibly an autumn walk back then, I can't recall. Anyway, spring wheat now by the looks of it. Surfaces obviously are pretty decent at the moment. Wind's pretty much dried away all the mud, although I do anticipate a bit in the shady spots. As mentioned, but much more easily bypassed these days. I mean, good God, we have now passed midsummer, or summer's start of summer, longest day, and unfortunately for me, this represents a quiet period in the countryside. As you can hear, not much bird song. The only birds that tend to sing, I notice, is the migrants, like the chiffchaff, the blackcap and the whitethroat, but even they're quiet today. And it sounds like we have a yellowhammer over there somewhere. Yeah, we did have. Hertfordshire Way branches off right there, a walk that we've previously done. We continue straight on, which again represents duplication of previous walking. The old wren in the background, and a chiffchaff bang on cue. Shortly after that turn into the Hertfordshire Way, a couple of minutes, we do a left here onto footpath 46, which, as you may have heard, is exactly 1 mile in. See the field margins left, oxized daisies in there, and a skylark somewhere, if you can hear it above the jet noise. They're in a race against time now, I guess, if they've got nests in this wheat field. Approaching the small hamlet of Redhill on the map. Plenty of wooded areas around up here. Not massive fields, decent sizes, retaining the tree boundaries. Excellent. It's footpath at Awfully Green. Again up a bank. This previously as well, but it looks like the picnic table that was around here has gone, this being an old orchard. And I'm now on a section of the Hertfordshire chain walk. I recall these notices previously as well. Sandon estate, and their warnings about deer getting in, and there's a lot of them around here, hence the fences. Lots of scrubland up here, which wildlife absolutely loves. hence the plethora of skylarks out there. Some creature there's withered on the fence. Not sure what it is. Too far gone. This is a new, or relatively new, deer fence again as well. Yeah, that wasn't there last time either. Lots of new gates and fences on this walk today. Passing Breckfield Farm on the map once again. Piggery of some kind, if I recall correctly. So here we are back into the decimation of the verges. Really does detract from the walk, really. As you can see, a bit of colour on the left in that beech hedge makes a world of difference. But seeing this bland decimation of verges is absolutely ludicrous. And what is the point, as I continue to say? There isn't any. It's not a health and safety risk out here, or in most of the places where they do it. Major junctions, yeah, where you've got no sight line, but the councils are massively contributing towards the demise of wildlife through cutting all these flowers. Verge flowers are so named because they don't grow anywhere else, only verges, and provide homes for a number of creatures. A big article about it in our local paper actually, so at least I'm not the only one complaining about this decimation. Quite a lot of other letter writers feel the same way by all accounts, and it won't change after the election, not unless the Greens take control of the country. Now on the fringes of Green End on the map. Yeah, and this is a section where there's a risk of cattle. Blaygrove Common, where I've been lucky in the past. Let's hope so today as well. Yeah, looks like my luck's in again today. Well, this plant apparently is meadowsweet, meadwort, and appropriately named. Lovely aroma coming from it even now as it's turning over. Fantastic smell. And thanks to Google, I was able to identify it. Just about to walk up alongside Titchney Wood now. So there will be a small bit of duplication here from this junction on for several hundred yards. We walk it twice on this GPX track. Featured in previous walks as well. Take a right off that lane to join Park Lane, which is a byway if I recall, on the Icknield Way and both the Hertfordshire Way, as I mentioned earlier. A white sea there of some kind of seed blown. All in the side verge as well. Last time I did this path it had just been resurfaced, and that was a couple of years back. Very welcome section of walking this at the present. Hottest point of the day or thereabouts, and we're in a tree tunnel for most of this couple of miles. Okay, coming out of Park Lane for the first time, because we will be back in there shortly. That will be my onward journey for lunch at Sandon Church. However, continuation of the track is on ahead here. So buy a property known as Woodcoats, take this public byway 18 to Kelshall Street on my right, and here you got a whole green decimated. Could have been a lovely wildflower meadow here. Absolutely ridiculous. Another pleasant section of tree tunnel though. And across there towards Kelshall and its church, and we're at one of the highest points on the walk now, about 515 foot up here. The high point of today's walk is 525, so we're not too far adrift. And as well as that church, there are some remains just visible in the wood over there. This is all familiar terrain on a previous walk, filmed from this spot before. Different weather conditions, mind. So at this kind of cross paths, we take a right here, back on the Hertfordshire Way, I believe. No, taking a right takes us off the Hertfordshire Way. We were on it. So approaching Lord's Wood on my left and Philpotts Wood on my right, and in the distance on my left several radio masts indicating that we are at the high point in the area. It's funny, the heights here are comparable with the Chilterns and some of the Downs, but you wouldn't feel or know it because it's not obvious. There aren't any sort of steep slopes to confirm that height really. Still lots of new fences and gates. Very big estate, this Sandon estate. And must have been done during COVID. Don't think I've been up here since then. So interestingly, we were still on the Hertfordshire Way, despite the earlier signage indicating otherwise. Now joining Notley Lane, which from memory can be very muddy in the winter. No such problems today, and another section of pleasant tree tunnel walking. Has panned out well, bearing in mind the overhead sun today. Back for the short section of duplication. And back up Park Lane. So this time taking the left to Sandon Church. So take this footpath next to the Sandon village sign to All Saints. Once again on both the Hertfordshire Way and the Icknield Way. So here we are, almost 7 miles into the walk, and coming up 3:15. Time for a well-earned lunch in the churchyard of All Saints, where I've had lunch before. This seat courtesy of Jackie Tufnell, née Warnham, of Lie End Farm. Many thanks. 3:20. Lunch has been had. Let's go and have a look at the church. Can't remember if this one is open or closed usually. I've never been in it, so it's probably locked. So here she blows. All Saints, Sandon. Well, there you go. Interesting, I haven't been in it before. The usual children's corner. Who's that bigwig? Somebody called Franklin Miller. Very old pulpit there. Interesting. And looking back, some more bigwigs close to the pulpit. Interesting, I wonder if that's their kids. President's chair. So a very pleasant sojourn, and the height here is around 524, so almost the maximum on this walk. This church probably marks that point. Serves all the little hamlets round about as well. Sandon village sign, 1086. On the village green. Get a better view of it from this side. Sun's behind me now. Interesting, I wonder what fish are in here. Certainly young ducks and moorhens about. Passing the village school. Interesting, the old saddlery company's up for sale. Wonderful old tree that. Filmed it before. Still standing, amazingly. Approaching the hamlet of Row Green. Very well maintained footpaths in this parish, and if it's down to the parish, well done. Stones at every sort of kissing gate where the mud gathers. Well mown lawns and not decimated in places either. Very good. All the walking now is on the Hertfordshire Way, usually combined with the Icknield Way as well. And I'm just looking at this field on my left, which was being used for agriculture last time I walked past it. Can't remember if it was rape or cereals, but it's not now. So it's interesting, it's been given over to nature, which is great. But I wonder how the farmer's making his income, or the landowner. And this doesn't appear to be Sandon estate. The fencing's not around me now. Well, I take that back. Here's the fencing again. So we're still on the Sandon estate. On the fringes of Wallington now. And from this point, which I have filmed previously, you do get a sense of the height. About 460 foot here. I think the last time I filmed it, they were harvesting. So an autumn walk. The old jets had just started around about 4 o'clock again, usual time, piling into Stansted. Just walking past Berry Farm on my left, and in the past when I've approached this field in particular, it's always been full of cattle. Doesn't seem to be any here today, nor any evidence of them being in here recently. So possibly again, sign of the times, reflecting the changing human taste buds. More vegetarians, less carnivores. So follow this lane and you're back up to the church where I was earlier. But next to this pond, we continue straight on back to the village hall. Well, there you go. See if I can get a shot of it. Only partial. Lots of thatch in this area. So 9.6 miles later, 3 hours 46, and as you can see there, I've just gone 4:30. Decent walk that, in one of my preferred areas of Hertfordshire. Nice and quiet up here. Hardly met anybody on that walk, which is the way I like it. Weather held out, decent day, nice welcome breeze, and not that hot, not too hot anyway, not like yesterday. As I say, it's an interesting area up here, away from the honeypots of the Chiltern Hills, over towards Tring. Some of East Herts is good, but I do like this area because it's quiet. Cambridge isn't too far adrift, probably the nearest big town. But yeah, not much in the way of birds today because of the molting season now for most species. Not much wildlife about at all actually, with the deer fences up as well. Nonetheless, good idea to make the Hertfordshire Way available to people that prefer doing it in a circular walk rather than linears, which involve car parking and all the rest of it. So thanks to West Herts for that walk. Till the next time.